Keep it pyro.
We've got a part of the show which is called Bring the Beat. It means we like dig through the crates and find a legendary beat for an incredible MC or rapper or artist to rap over live.
When does he get here?
He's here in the building right now. It's Mikill Pane, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready? You've selected the beat yourself.
I have indeed.
And tell us a little bit why you selected this one.
Do you know what? It's simply one of my favourite songs. It's just one of my favourite songs. It makes me feel so happy. I listen to this in the shower all the time. And the sample, like the vibe of it. The thing is, do you know what I noticed about West Coast rappers? In comparison to East Coast rappers, they were so much happier, if you get what I'm saying to you. You would not hear an East Coast rapper make a song like this tune. Only people in California can make songs like this, because the sun just, even if you're a gangbanger, the sun just makes you feel mad happy.
I mean, they had it from the early days. I mean, like, let's talk about Roger Troutman. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
He is like, he set the tone for all of those people to sample it. And it's like, when you go to LA and you go to California and you drive around and you just, like when I was there last time, it was just looking around like, and you're just like, the vibe is there, and it's just, there's an energy there to make that kind of movie, and that's the only place in the world you would ever get G-Funk.
I genuinely think that sometimes the climate can determine the type of music you make, because like if you're always in the sun, you're gonna make the type of music that people are gonna listen to in the sun. And I feel like in a sort of dismal place in comparison, like New York, they were always probably moaning a bit more, you know what I mean?
So wherever in the world that you're listening from right now, even if it's raining and it's really, really miserable, imagine the sun is shining, Mikill Pane is sat right beside you, and this is about to go down.
Alright. Tell you what, can I get it sped up a touch? Yeah. Listen. Listen, this is the sound of someone switching the sound off, cause they're fed up of having orders barked at them by bitches and hound dogs. They're all about the peace and quiet, stress-free, less beef than a vegan diet, unwilling to hear that type of noise at any time of day, sick of fleeing it but still avoiding it like the plague. The world gets deafening, they feel the fiddles with the words that they're meant to hear. Now everything's perfectly engineered to sound superb when it enters ears. Reality's a loud affair, they'll do everything in their power to get out of there, drowning out the sound by letting my album blare, while doing crazy things like swimming naked in the fountain on Trafalgar Square. They're all about the peace and quiet, stress-free, less beef than a vegan diet, unwilling to hear that type of noise at any time of day, sick of fleeing it but still avoiding it like the plague. Listen, they get around town with a carefree bop, while kids get patted down by unfriendly cops, pigs claiming there's drugs, telling naughty porkies, knowing that the only crack will come from their walkie-talkies. And as the coppers radio for backup, they don't stop, they turn their radios back up and reflect, cause that's the only way they won't crack up. Broken mirrors can create a load of bad luck. They still wanna get ahead, listening to what Gil Scott-Heron said. They keep the television muted, that's no place for a revolution, stupid. Reality's a loud affair, they'll do everything in their power to get out of there, drowning out the sound by letting my album blare, while doing crazy things like swimming naked in the fountain on Trafalgar Square. They resent who the leaders are, cause even though it's rudimental to feel the love, governments are rude and mental, don't give a fuck. They blew men, women and children up, they're still doing it. A nice and honest man, how nice can he be with a child's blood on his hands? We thought they wanted peace, but violence was the plan. We trust killers like sheep, it's the silence of the lambs. They might not be around money very often, but they can hear the sound of the penny dropping. Only just cause those in politics are careless, showing their true colours, just a lot of different yellows. Last time, reality's a loud affair, they'll do everything in their power to get out of there, drowning out the sound by letting my album blare, while doing crazy things like swimming naked in the fountain on Trafalgar Square. Thank you very much. That was my little segment, my little intermission.
Rendition. Bro, absolutely smashed it. You know what that reminded me of? It was when myself, yourself and Carly did a gig.
Oh, man.
Queen of Hoxton, basement, Shoreditch. Who brought that bottle of rum into the room before we actually went on and did the gig?
Who brought the room into that bottle of rum, mate? That's what happened.
You were not swimming in Trafalgar Square. You were swimming in a bottle of rum in a basement in Shoreditch.
That was the silliest gig I've ever done. Like in a good, positively, in a good way. That was genuinely the most. Like, I realised it was the surrealist gig ever when I looked to the right before I even came on, and you were pouring a whole bottle of like whiskey or something over Carly's head.
Yeah, that happened. I just decided that it would be a good idea. I don't know what happened. I was just pouring bottles of beer. And then you were performing, and me and Carly were just front row, just pouring beer all over the heads of the crowd, and they were loving it.
And I also remember before you came on, Exo Man was on before.
Yeah.
And he made everybody sit down. And so you're looking around, everyone sat down on the dance floor.
He likes to be the tallest man in the room.
It was very early days of twerking. And he was going round and he was just like making goals. He was just like, and he's like 7 foot tall. And he's just like, twerk for me.
Yeah, he genuinely is 7 foot tall. Which is why the whole sitting down thing is just perverted.
Yeah.
You're already super taller than everyone.
Anyway, that was amazing, and I have to say, it's one of those when some rappers come in here, they stand there and they just go ham. Yours was like this chilled out thing that I didn't want you to stop. You remember when you were younger and your mum and dad used to read you a bedtime story? It was that where you're thinking, I don't want to go to sleep yet. Carry on. Nice. It was lovely.
Oh, thanks very much.
And loads of wisdom in there. I want to know about the swimming naked in Trafalgar Square thing. Is that you or someone else?
Someone else.
Really? That's boring.
It's the more confident me. That's what it is. That's who it is. That's who the someone else is, the more confident me. I wish I was confident enough to swim naked in Trafalgar Square while listening to my own album.
There's still time yet. There's waterproof earphones out at the moment as well.
Go. It's the ultimate level of cockiness, that.
Shan, was it down to you? Was it actually you that was doing it?
He was writing about me. He just walked across me. We didn't even know each other at the time. But yeah, should have got a shout out, but nonetheless.
Keep it pyro.